Okay. From the previous session, we learned on the background of Prince Siddhartha's story, and we have come to the part when he had returned home from the invitation of his father. After so many tries, I think it's about 10 times, finally sending his close friend to invite him back under the condition that he must be allowed to ordain and follow the teaching of the Buddha as well. And thus he got his wish fulfilled, and thus he invited the Buddha back to his home town or home kingdom. On the way on his return, his father also invited him to come to the palace to receive alms round. But upon returning, he don't see his wife or son at all. Thus, his wife, when she was asking why don't she go pay the Buddha the visit, she said that if he left on his own, thus he should come see me, not I go see him. That's all. The Buddha came to meet her with his disciple, and thus teaching her what he had learned, and she has the eye of enlightenment, and also his son as well. And finally, after the reunion happened, the Buddha had also invited his son to ordain, thus become the first Buddhist ordination for the young boy. They call this a novice ordination. Also along with his brother, who has also ordained at the same time, as you may see in the picture. And that's where we left off on the story today. Now, after the ordination has proceeded, the clan or Sakaya clan, the bloodline of the Buddha or Prince Siddhartha, also sent another delegates to ordain in his religions as become the pride of the family bloodline. Because, excuse me, because since the bloodline has started a religion, if they don't send anyone, it will be like a disgrace. That's what they believe. So they send their delegate, and these 6 were the one who ordained. That's when they ordained. The religions begin to widespread because the prince from the clan has ordained. It's not only just regular person, but the royal bloodline as well. When open a chance like this, the knowledge and the widespread of Buddhism also begin to spread. But not long after he teach his father and all his family members, his father also came close to the excuse me, just one moment. All right. Not long after his teachings, his father has come to the end of his life, but the Buddha, with his kindness, came to the last moment of his father and also teach the Dhamma. Thus, from the first level of enlightenment that his father had learned, on the 7th day, his father has also attained the Arahant and thus entered Nirvana previously before the Buddha. And that is the separation for the second time after his mother passed away since he was born. And that's the one who takes the throne in the bloodline now has also ordained as well. But there will be someone else to take the throne, but it may not be quite significant as the time as it is, because all the loyal direct bloodline has ordained in Buddhism. Now, as the story goes, also, how can the religion itself prolong? It must have some kind of sponsor or supporter to keep the religion continue. As many people like to support the monk through offering meal, but of course there must be someone who also supporting the propagation of the religions. And that soon after that, the man whose name was Anatha Pindika, which name he was named as the title. This is not his name, okay? His given name was Sudatta, but people do not call him by this name. They call him Anatha Pindika because he liked to feed the people and the helpless. So he always opened the charity hall where all the the homeless and the orphan can come have their meal morning, afternoon, and evening whenever they need. But they open 3 times a day, so they must come at the right time. Otherwise, it would be quite difficult for them to get food. Therefore, they would not be suffer because of hunger. And that is how he earned his name. He loved to do this very much. And one day, when he visited his friend, he saw his friend making like decorations in their house, like a welcome party, even bigger than he was before when he visited his friend every time. So he asked, "Friend, who are you inviting to come for your home? Is it the king or some kind of royal? Because you make it so big." He said, "Oh, don't you know? Well, the Buddha has arrived, and I prepare my home to welcome him and his disciple." "Are you serious? The term Buddha is not commonly found. Whoever announced his name as the Buddha must be something. Are you really serious?" "Yes, my friend, the Buddha will come." He was so excited to the point that at that day he could not sleep and think about how he would like to meet the Buddha. Finally, on that night, he only think of the Buddha until he cannot sleep. And he hears the sound that told him to come meet the Buddha in the forest. And he walked alone in the middle of the night. Oh, you must remember one thing. At the time, they do not have such soldier or security or the guard. So walking around at night is very dangerous, especially go into the forest alone. But because his mind was thinking of the Buddha all the time, he walked alone into the silence in the middle of the night until he met a man sitting alone with the bright radiance under the tree. Said, "Come here, Sudatta." He realized this must be the Buddha because no one called him by this name but the one who is very close. So when he met the Buddha, he learned the Dhamma and his eye of wisdom has opened. Thus he attained the first level of enlightenment and followed the Buddha in the next morning to his friend's place. And then he invited the Buddha to come to his hometown to offer the meal at his home on the next time he visited. And that's after he fed the Buddha. He finished his business. He go back home, prepare all decoration to welcome the Buddha and his disciple. And that's the moment on he become himself the the supporter of Buddhism. And the Buddha has given his title that the most main patron in Buddhism. And that is how he always support whenever the monks or whatever the Buddhas need. It is not only coming in common, it has to be the person who are very close and who are very desire and wish this position for that. And he always supporting to the rest of his life, even to the time when his house, his own business has gone in almost bankrupt. He's still giving support to the monks, but because of his firm belief, it's come back and he has even more wealthier than before because of his firm faith and his practice all the time. And it is something that also play the main important in Buddhism. Whenever you listen to the teachings or read the books, they always mention this name at Anathapindika temple. This also means that he has built a temple, donate to the Buddha, and this is where the Buddha spent most of his life, stay at the temple where he donate. Okay, and that's after Anathapindika built the temple, after the temple which become the center of Buddhism. It has a long story as well. It took about 20 years to complete. Yes, 20 years. It will not just like build in one day, like you have read the book. In fact, it take about 20 years to complete it. But the time when he built is very quite challenge for him as well. As the story goes in that, he looking for a place that would be the well center for Buddhism in India as well. It should not be too far from the city or too close neither. It should be a quiet place where the people walk and go by easier access, so that way they will have easier time to come visit the Buddha and go back to home. If it's too far or too quiet or too dangerous, they would not come. And he found the land the most suitable. But this land became to one of the loyal member, and he won't sell the land. So he asked so many times, please, could you sell the land to me? Then he said, well, if you want the land, how about put all your money in the land? If it cover all the land, then I will sell it. And Anatta Bhikkhu take it as acceptance. So he asked all of his member to go bring all his wealth, pour it onto the land, cover the ground, every single square, so that way he can buy the land. When the man who mentioned that come to see and witness himself, just about in front of the area of the gate, he said, "Oh, stop! Don't pour anymore. I think I have enough. Let this space become my part too. All right, let me be part of your offering too." So that's they make this the temple name Jetawana, which is the name of the loyals who sell the land. But they call this the temple as Jetawana Temple, offering by Anatta Bhikkhu. That is the name that always described in the text, all right, as the way show the gratitude to the donator and the owner of the land. And this place become the main important temple in Buddhism. But as the time goes, many monks had well conduct, gain many faith. And of course, there are women who interest to ordain. But at the time, there are no women ordained until finally, the first person who get a chance was his stepmother. If you recall from the story that I had told on the first episode, that his mother passed away 7 days after he was born, and his aunt, who was also close sister to his mother, took care of him. That's become his stepmother. And also the mother of his brother, Venerable Nanda, that's mentioned earlier in the previous week. She also request the Buddha to ordain, but the Buddha says, no, it's not the time. Until for the third time, through his attendance, Venerable Ananda, he is also close cousin and brother. He has given the chance for his mother to ordain. Thus, allow other women to be ordained in Buddhism. And thus, that is when the time the woman can also have a chance to ordain in Buddhism. And she did not ordain alone. Yes, there are 500 more ordained as well as a companion. And one of them also his wife, Princess Bimba as well. And that's when they ordain, they practice, and not long they become enlightened as well. Follow the Buddha, enter nirvana as when they pass away. But more important events are not only just this, but there are many more events that come across in his life, which took him about 45 years of teachings or the Dhamma discourse throughout India. And that was 45 years of his work that spread Buddhism. There are many countless times that I did not mention in the previous episode, that if you recall, when he meditate, these are not quite mentioned a lot because in my opinion, I believe that to the Western is quite irrelevant, but it always exists in the Buddhist scripture and the Buddha story, that before he enlightened, he encountered the being called the Mara, or the evil one, or the one who always obstruct and behind the scenes of whoever do the good deeds, like the Buddha. And so he prevent the Buddha try to prevent from enlighten, gain his Buddhahood. But after the Buddha himself has won the Mara and conquer, therefore the Mara asked the Buddha, well, since you have done your business, you had attained your Buddhahood and entered in nirvana, how about you go now? You don't have business to be here anymore. He asked the Buddha something like this many times. And yes, the Buddha answered, as long as the religion are still not firmly established, my purpose as the Buddha are not complete. But as 45 years in his service has already complete, then the Mara himself had asked again. And so the Buddha asked his attendants, Venerable Ananda, for many times. At least, he asked about 16 times. Ananda, if I stay, I can do much more benefit to the people in this world. And Ananda just like, oh, sadhu, just like he thought that the Buddha, mentioned this out of him, instead of thinking as an invitation for him to stay longer. So on the 16th time, when the Buddha asked the same thing, he just remained silent. And then, not long after that, the Mara has asked the Buddha, well, Buddha, your religion is now firmly established. It's 45 years now. I don't think you have any business left to be here anymore. So the Buddha said, yes, the religion has firmly established. Now I shall enter nirvana. And that's when he mentioned that from this moment on, 3 months after this day, I will enter nirvana. The whole ground was shaken. There was an earthquake and an omen and everything that happened at that time. Ananda was surprised, so he came and asked the Buddha, Master, what had happened? There is an earthquake. Is there some kind of an omen? Yes, Ananda, I just announced that I will enter nirvana. The rumor was spread very fast. Everyone was surprised and sad at the same time because they thought the Buddha gonna stay. But in fact, he cannot surpass death. He soon too shall come to face death in the future. From this last moment on, he has spent his last 3 months teaching everything that he has until on the last moment, the Last Supper. There was a man named GoodQandA offer what is called in here the bowl's meat. It's called Sukha Ramandava, which should become the last Buddha, the last meal for the Buddha. It caused him to have a bad stomach. It is made with mushroom and wild boar flesh. People blame him that, how come you poison the Buddha? Now you can make it worse. But the Buddha announced this to everyone that these last meal are as important as the first meal. The first meal that I had attained before I attained Buddhahood also important. Without that meal, I would not be able to attain Buddhahood. And the same thing, without this meal, I will not be able to enter nirvana. Thus, do not blame him. He has gained a lot of merit to offer the last important meal to me. And so, after having his last meal, on the last time, everyone, all the Buddhist congregation come together at Kusinara, where the Buddha entered Nirvana, but still, he still have his last hope for everyone. I think this is my opinion, okay? He asked everyone, has anyone having doubt to what I has been teaching? Everyone was silent. Imagine if someone said, yes, my Lord, could you stay and teach more further? Maybe we still have a chance to meet the Buddha until now. But in fact, no one asked. It's just not meant to be, I guess. Therefore, then there is no one asked. He entered Nirvana from that moment. And so he had also lived the last word, which is summarized on his teaching for 45 years. It's loosely translated like this, that strive on living with awareness. In other words, always be mindful on how you live your life. If you analyze his teaching or last word, you will see that it's covered all the teachings. Excuse me, it's quite cold in here because my room is quite under the boiler, so it's always warm. But now the boiler is broke, so it's quite cold. Anyway, that's caused me to cough. Now that's after the Buddha has entered Nirvana. The only thing that exists now from his moment after he passed away is the scripture. And thus, I hope you enjoy our Buddhist knowledge today. See the whole pictures of how the Buddha had described and teaching his religion. And so, we will continue with other things to learn from the Buddhist knowledge, which also help us to easier find inner peace and maintain your life with the Buddhist wisdom. And so, hopefully, this knowledge can give you benefit and overview. Before we start today, is there any questions on the knowledge that I just present today, or is there something that wasn't clear? You can also leave in the comment. And for the time being, just also that what you like to learn, maybe you can suggest the purpose, the subject, so that way maybe we can also bring you to come to more learning on the next session as well. As it is, I like to keep our class like this every Saturday. You can also bring your friends who are interested to learn in Buddhist wisdom as well. They don't have to be Buddhist to learn, but if they're interested to learn, they can come join us on this day. But let's warn them though, it's quite early, so make sure that they get up on time. All right. Now, as it is, the thing is that since we do not have our course My Ons, which I intend to continue next year. Therefore, we will continue with our current class like this every Saturday. But if you're interested to come just only for meditation, you are also welcome as well. Because, I know that everyone's time is also quite precious. But at the very least, joining us for meditation for inner peace time would not be too much of a deal, right? So hopefully you can come join us every session. And so, is there anything you'd like to ask today before we part? Now is the time.
You please unmute yourself. Yeah.
I just wanted to say hello, everybody. Thank you, Lumpy, and keep smiling. I'm happy to see everybody smiling. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ka, Kun Paul. Actually, I really like your background because I can see Kun Yai behind you. Yes. Yeah. How about Miss Kathleen? Maybe because I can see you, maybe you want to say something? No? Yes, Miss Kathleen.
Hi, everybody. I'm just good to see everybody and glad to have this class every Saturday. So, hey, Paul.
Sadhuka, thank you so much, Miss Kathleen. I hope to see you every time that we have a session, Ka. How about Miss Linen? I can see you there.
Yes, good morning. It's 20 some degrees here, 29 degrees I think in where I am, and one of the side effects of that is I like to cuddle up with a blanket when I'm meditating, and unfortunately during the full moon meditation, being toasty warm put me right to sleep. So I'm happy to have the cold weather because it keeps me awake. And it's nice to see everybody. Paul, you look like you're in a warmer climate now. You don't have as many overcoats on.
Yeah, please visit Thailand, Miss Lena, because we have warm, weather here. So maybe it will help you to feel like awakened at all time. All right. Thank you, Miss Lena. How about Mr. Carsten? do you have anything to say?
Yes, I also want to thank you, and I really liked the last 5 episodes to learn more about Buddha's life, and what I really is fascinating is that Buddha actually is a person whose biography we can study, and it's well, I'm here and around me most Buddhists pray to Buddha, and but actually Buddha is a person, is a human like we all are. So this can give us hope actually to reach the goals we find in the Buddhist scriptures and everything, while maybe other religions have all these goals outside in the afterlife or somewhere in the future, but we can really strive to practice every day, and that is something which I realized in these 5 episodes now. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Carsten. Your words are very meaningful for all of us. Thank you so much. I know that you are very deep into Buddhism now. I mean, you kind of like interested in Buddhism and you want to know more about Buddhism and how to practice meditation correctly. I know that. We feel you.
Well, I'm a little bit working on Buddhism because I'm specialized in Buddhist archaeology, but in Vietnam and not in, well, Thailand is already a bit different. And I'm not a specialist list on India, for example, where Buddhism actually originated. Just my interest.
Yeah, thank you so much. For me as well, as an MC, sometimes I want to express my feeling as well. But as I'm Buddhist, and I can feel that every time that I listen like the Dhamma, the Buddha's history from our GTM, I can feel that wow, he's just like normal person, our Buddha. He's just normal person, but many times that we heard that there's something like it's the supernatural that happened during that time, I mean Buddha's period. So it's like unbelievable actually, but it's the thing that happened already. So I can feel like wow, it's very interesting, and the path that our Buddhas like taught it is about the how to practice meditation. Like meditation is the way that we can um, you know, can help ourselves to like to pass the suffering. I mean, to surpass that. Yes, it's the only way that we can surpass that. And yeah, I feel like wow, today's session and also meditation session today, I would like to say that I really like the music because today is the last session, so I would like to say a little bit more. Because I really like the music, the background is very, very good and make me like very calm and peaceful when I practice meditation. And I feel so good, really good with this music background. I don't know that you feel that too for the music background. You feel like very calm and comfortable and very peaceful when practice meditation, right? You feel that too? Yes, I think it's very good music background. Thank you so much for Luang Pi and also Mr. Mick and คุณเพรียวนะคะน้องเพรียว our staff นะคะ also คุณ Paul as well นะคะ yes to like in the backstage นะคะ they are like doing backstage. Thank you so much ค่ะ I feel so good today ค่ะ and I would like to say we really appreciate นะคะ our GTM นะคะ I know that you work so hard and you dedicate your life นะคะ to be our teaching monk in every session. I feel that I feel so grateful and thankful for that, and we never miss our program, except we have like a big event or big occasion at the temple, and just that. He never missed us as well. I mean the session, so we meet each other every time. I feel so thankful for our GTM and everyone that we meet each other every week, and every time that we have like program like this, so we come and meet each other. I feel so grateful, and I feel like this is our home and family. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณค่ะ Satu.
Right, picture time, everyone.
All right. No prayer, you don't want to say something? I can feel that you want to say something, but I see you.
GoodQandA, you already say everything that I would like to say. I don't know what to say, but we're gonna meet each other every day anyway, so hope to see everyone. Okay, let's take a picture before we leave.
Take a picture, yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Linear. 1, 2, 3, smile. Satu.
Satuka, thank you. We will pay respect to our GTM together. Down. Thank you, Ka.
Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good breakfast. And good night to Carsten and Mickey and Panda. Bye, Helen. I only
Bye,
see you.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you,
Helen,
Thank you.
everyone.
Kathleen, Carsten.
Bye.
See you next time. Ka.
Okay,
Take
good
Bye,
care.
night.
GoodQandA. Satu
Have a
ค่ะ
nice day.